Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone. We are back with another lesson, another recorded lesson. This time, we are going to focus on another topic under the subject BIA 3012 English for academic purposes. And let's recap a bit on the lessons before this. This is for the attention of my students. Last week or previously, we explored or we learned how to construct thesis statement in your research paper. Okay, some of the characteristics of a good thesis statement will be you have your focus, you have your topic that answer your research questions. All of these are part of your rough outline. Okay, so the purpose of having a good thesis statement is to give an overview of your supporting points, meaning your three main ideas, three supporting points or two supporting points that are logically connected to your focus, and make sure it has enough information without giving too much detail, as well as make sure you have the correct grammar and precise vocabulary. And then we discuss several examples. For example, this one, okay, we have this example of thesis statement where the three overview or the three supporting details are overviewed. Okay, the keywords are mentioned, and as well as the focus and the topic. Okay, and you combine all of that in one sentence, and then you will get your thesis statement. Okay, and then this is another example. So when you write your thesis statement, make sure you pay attention on the style. Please avoid using the first person point of view. Okay, use third person point of view. For example, it is necessary to, or you refer back to the subject of your topic, the homeless, the people, the students, instead of using I think or I'm going or in my opinion. Okay, another one is you can pay attention to the structure. There are several structure or several ways on how to structure your thesis statement. You can use it in any orders as long as you have the three, which are topic, focus, and overview. Okay, and the last one is to use a precise vocabulary to help create focus in your research paper. You can repeat the same vocabulary. Okay, it's just that don't make sure that vocabulary is, or that word is, the main keywords of the whole paper. All right, now we are going to focus on another part to expand your rough outline. Now that you have your TC statement, you have a list of your supporting details, so basically your and your focus. Now it's time for you to construct a proper sentence to describe your supporting points, and we call that topic sentences. Okay, what are topic sentences? Basically, a sentence that identifies the main idea. So in general, if you have the main idea is the phrase, and then if you put it in a sentence, you will get a topic sentence. So in your topic sentence, you will have the main idea that represents the whole paper, and then the supporting details will be the information that support the main ideas, your elaborations. Okay, so why do we need to have topic sentences? It substantiates or supports an essay's thesis statement. So you have your thesis statement already, but you need topic sentences to support it. So it unifies the content of the paragraph, so that I know as I read your paper, I can see what ties everything. Okay, and directs the order of the sentences. Okay, which point comes first, which points comes second and last. So in your topic sentence is basically a combination of your topic and your focus. Okay, let's look at some examples taken from the textbook itself. So you can refer to your textbook page 72 for a topic sentence. Okay, you have to remember these three qualities when writing a good topic sentence. First, it logically connects to the topic of the thesis. Make sure your topic and your thesis are connected to each other. Okay, it connects the focus of the thesis, and it repeats a supporting point but expresses it in a different way. So the simplest way to explain this will be This one will be how you paraphrase it. Okay, you paraphrase some of the keywords in the topic sentence. So for example, this is the example, right? The thesis statement is the lack of affordable housing, drug and alcohol abuse, and mental health problems are the causes of homelessness. Okay, so this is the thesis statement. Okay, so you saw or you noticed the 3 points, and you notice the topic causes and the focused causes and the topic homelessness. So we are talking about what the causes of homelessness. So now it's time for you to expand each of the causes. So for example, you take the first cause. Lack of affordable housing is the cause of homelessness. So you put that in a sentence. The scarcity of affordable housing property is one reason of homelessness. Okay, the scarcity here is another word for lack of, kekurangan. Alright, so the lack of affordable housing property, one reason of homelessness. So here you still logically connect your topic homelessness with the thesis statement, as well as you express your point in a different way. Another example is second topic sentence. Substance abuse such as drug and alcohol leads to high number of homelessness. So in the thesis statement, you use drug and alcohol abuse. In your topic sentence, you change a bit, you use the word substance abuse. And then you include the examples such as drug and alcohol. Leads to is another word for reason, the cause of. All right, and then the third topic sentence will be a third cause of homelessness is the psychological problems experienced by homeless people. So we have the word cause of, and then psychological. In the thesis statements, we use the word mental health problems. In your topic sentence, you change it, you represent it, you express it in a different way. You use the word psychological. Okay, but in the end or in general, it still ties to the thesis statement. It all bring back to the thesis statement. Let's look at another example. This one, it's a different topic. All right, the thesis statement is emphasize on individualism, loss of focus on extended families, and overshadowed lifestyles are 3 reasons for the generation gap between younger and older people. Okay, so here in red, the one in red represents the overview of the supporting points. Okay, the 3 supporting points. We have the focus reasons, and then we have the topic is a generation gap. So this thesis statement discuss about uh, the reason that generation gap between younger and older people exists. Why there is a generation gap between older and younger people? And the first reason is emphasis on individualism, and you need to expand this. Okay, how to expand it? Okay, the first topic sentence will be the value of independence is one reason why younger and older people become isolated from each other. This time the supporting points and the keywords are expressed in a different way even more. Okay, so for example, the word emphasis on individualism, penekanan. Okay, so it changed itu value of independence. Individualism here means is another word for independent, meaning you want to practice, or some people want to practice an independent lifestyle. They don't want to be attached to their parents or families. So it's very common in the Western countries, in the Western culture, where as soon as they turn 18, they they would quickly leave home. They would, be independent, find out what they want to do, find their own job, and further their study and such. So the level of individualism is high there, especially among younger generations as compared to older generations. So that gives more, or that causes a bigger generation gap, because the kids leave home very soon, right after 18, and they don't want to rely on their parents anymore. So that causes generation gap to the younger and older people. Okay, so they don't live with their parents. So emphasis on individualism, it is being rephrased into value of independence. One reason why they become isolated from each other is another way this author described generation gap. Okay, generation gap means you feel distance. You're not close with your all the siblings or all the parents or relatives, so meaning you distance yourself, you separate yourself from them. So that's what it means by isolated, asingkan diri from each other. Okay? So not just, you don't really have to repeat generation gap from start to end. Find a different way of expressing it. Okay, so this is how it is written. The second topic sentence is the second reason. The second reason here is the change in family structure from extended families has resulted in less connection between generations. Okay, so in the thesis statement, it is written as loss of focus on extended families. Okay, loss of focus on extended families, but in the topic sentence, it is written as the change in family structure. It still gives the same meaning. You do don't you the meaning is not it's still the same, but it is expressed in a different way. This is what we call paraphrasing, right? So the change in family structure has resulted, even the word reason has been changed to the word has resulted, still give the same meaning. And then the one in green, less connection between generation. Okay, less connection between generation means generation gap. So when you have generation gap, you isolate from each other, you have less connection between generations. And then the third cause of the generation gap is the lack of time that family members have to spend with each other. Okay, this one is a bit lengthy but still give the same meaning. In the thesis statement, it says here overshadowed lifestyles, meaning very packed lifestyle, very busy. Okay, all your day is filled with activities that sometimes you become more and more distant to your older folks. Okay, so that's what it means by overshadowed lifestyles, busy lifestyles. So because of this is the one of the reason, and then the way it is rewritten. If you look at this sentence, lack of time that family members have to spend with each other. That's what it means by overshadowed lifestyle. When you have a very packed lifestyle, you don't really spend time with your family members or your older relatives and other other older family members. So not necessarily that you have to just use the same keyword for each of these, for each of your topic sentences. Okay, and okay, yeah, if you are still confused, this is just to compare how the original phrase is rewrite into a different one or is expressed in a different way but still maintained the meaning. Okay, all right, so now that you have at least hopefully get a bit of a picture of what topic sentence is, so now you can go further by expanding more of your rough outline by starting to look for evidences to support each of these topic sentences. Okay, remember that topic sentence is written at the beginning of each body paragraph. So if you have three main ideas, uh, I don't say three body paragraphs, but it's like the start of each main idea, right? So once you have your topic sentence, this is like the opening sentence. Now your job is to expand it. What you mean, for example, here, what you mean by value of independence is the reason why young and old people become isolated. What you mean by that? Example, we need evidence to support it. So how to integrate that? Okay, how to integrate evidence into your topic sentences. So first, you need to paraphrase or quote each piece of evidence. Okay, first you need, of course, you need to find evidences and then introduce the evidence. Okay, there are certain ways on how you can introduce evidence. Connect the evidence to the topic sentence. All right, and then when you after you finish, make sure you follow the APA citation style. Okay, when it comes to evidences, there are a variety of evidence, types of evidence. I forgot which page is this. Let me see. Okay, let's go back a bit. Paraphrase or quote each evidence. This one, page 79. So when you quote, you can refer to page 79 in the textbook. So when you quote, make sure you don't change its total meaning, its original meaning. Okay, for example, uh, page 80. Actually, we have covered topic on paraphrasing. We have done some exercises, but I can explain one more example. Page 80. The original quotation of the evidence is, according to Hopkins, to behave aggressively is no longer considered unfeminine and unattractive. Girl characters are expected to be assertive and achievement oriented. So, what this original quote is trying to say that uh, just because girls behave aggressively doesn't mean they are not feminine. We cannot say they are not feminine just because they behave aggressively, or maybe they are not attractive because they are very aggressive. You cannot say that, because right now girls' character are expected to be assertive, garang, right? And achievement oriented, meaning very ambitious. We need to achieve a lot of things in our life. You need to have goals and dreams. So you cannot say that girls who are girls who are aggressive are not feminine or attractive. So this is what basically the quotation is about. So you have to paraphrase it. So the paraphrase version is, according to Hopkins. Okay, make sure you retain the name of the original author. ND here means no date. The time or the year is not specified. Females in movies and books, they are often hard driving and ambitious. Unlike in the past, it is now socially acceptable for women to act boldly and forcefully. So this is not the version of paraphrasing. You like to say that, yeah, even characters in movies and books, they always portray women as someone who is hard, driving, and ambitious. And it's no longer the same as in the past. Right now, it is socially acceptable. Socially acceptable means everyone accept it. All right. So another one is to use quote. Okay. To use quote, meaning you use a direct quotations in only a few circumstances, meaning you don't want to paraphrase. That's okay for that, but you need to put how to say this, open clause and close clause, yeah. Like for example in page 80 here, okay, you just paste the original quotation without changing anything, and then you but you cannot do this often. You need to show your own writing as well, and then using paraphrases and basically the same. All right, so let's go to the types of evidence. When it comes to the types of evidence, try to vary your types of evidences. Don't just find one type of evidence. Yeah. Okay, where is Einstein? Okay, Einstein evidence. The first one here, Einstein evidence is the most common type of evidence mentioned or used in research paper, because you include what other scholars and researchers think of the topic. Okay, you must have the name of the original author, the title of the journal or article, and the year it is published. Okay, so I think this one is a very common but the strongest type of evidence, because it has gone through years of study and research and discussion. Another type of evidence will be fact evidence. Okay, fact evidence here means it contains statistics and objective information based on extensive research, more or less the same like the first one. The only difference here is it's not necessarily include the name of the author. Okay, and sometimes we just quote from MOE, Minister of Education, you quote from WHO, World Health Organization, but you know the information is reliable because it's a fact. Okay, a fact developed by reliable sources. Okay, statistics, information, infographics, reports, findings, case studies. And next one, example evidence. It's a specific example that illustrate the points you are making. So this kind of evidence is can be accepted in research paper as well. Okay, so you can give example that uh, are generally accepted by everyone, because but sometimes, you know, it's the simplest way of writing an example. For example, let me give you a situation. For example, the topic on the lack of affordable housing. Let's say you want to elaborate on the lack of affordable housing, right? Is a reason why people become homeless. So, for example, your example consists of the average price range, okay, of housing property in a specific country. For example, in US, because in US has a lot of homeless people. So your example would be, you will guess, okay, in New York the price of the housing property will be this much. However, the minimum wage will be this one, so people wouldn't be able to buy the affordable houses because it's not affordable. Okay, or you can say there is lacking of an affordable housing in New York, barely none. There is no. And then another example from a different state, probably. So that will be mean that's what it means by example evidences. To provide a clear examples that people can imagine. And the last one is undocumented evidence. Usually comes from your own experience, observations, or what is commonly understood. Okay, so be gentle with this kind of undocumented evidence. You can include undocumented evidence, meaning stories, experiences, observation. Just make sure that observations and experience are commonly understood, meaning everyone can accept that, everyone agree. Okay, for example, you talk about fast food, or you talk about choices of breakfast menus in Malaysia. So you name several, and you will say most Malaysians prefer to eat to eat these menus for breakfast. Probably you cannot find a specific survey or research done on that information, but based on your observation and your experience as a Malaysian yourself, you can include that in your explanation as well, because it is commonly understood. All right, so this is this is one example how evidence is integrated. I will explain more on this as part of your test too, actually. Okay, so basically you have your topic sentence. The value of independence is one reason why young and old people become isolated from each other. This is the same topic as before. And then you have to explain a bit by what you mean by this. Okay, let's say your main idea is about value of independence, and then you need to explain what you mean by being independent and why is it important. Okay, and then you include evidence to support your explanation. So your evidence could be Einstein evidence or example evidence, up to you. And then you're gonna have to have another connecting explanation to explain your evidence. To explain your evidence, to explain the sentence before. Don't just dump evidence. Dump evidence means you just copy and paste the evidence and then you leave it like that. No. You need to explain your evidence. What you mean? You have to retell, rewrite what does Margaret Mead says here. What does she mean about generation gap and about being independent? Okay, and then last one, you conclude. So one of the way to show relation for each of these is you have here sentence connectors, repeated keyword, okay, same keywords. Old people, young people, use the same keywords, the same main points. All right. So I think in this session, in this video recording, I'm just going to focus on topic sentences first, and for you to expand, okay, for you to expand your rough outline. So right now, you already have your thesis statement, your answer to research question, which represents your topic sentence actually. So I want you to expand your rough outline, include a proper topic sentence, all right? So proper topic sentences, if you have three topic sentences, okay, full sentence, and also probably list down, you can start searching for relatable evidences to support each of your topic sentences. Okay, and hopefully you can start writing your research paper as well. All right, I think that's it on this session. Thank you so much. And for my students, if you have any question, either leave the comments below or just personally contact me, WhatsApp me, and ask questions. So that's all for this session. Thank you, everyone.